Hi everyone, I'm trying to remove the top half of my shifter from the stub so I can put my new boots on. And I just found in a Jeep forum somewhere that the guys used a pickle fork. Now what he did is he took it out of the transmission, put it in a vise, and then used a pickle fork. What I'm going to attempt to do today is use a couple of pickle forks and do it right here. So I have no idea if this is going to work. I'm as far back as I can be because of the emergency brakes in the way, and it might be a little windy in here. I got both doors open because it's hot. It's 90 something degrees outside already. So let's see what happens. You're going to hear me huffing and puffing and all that stuff. So first thing I'm going to do is get the four-wheel drive shifter out of the way. Now let's see if I can. Okay, this one's a little too tight. There's a square under here, and this fits just under the square, which is perfect. Now this is an 86 XJ. Some of these shifters have set screws and other things in much later years, but not this one. Holy crap, is this actually gonna work? Okay, so I guess I should put it in a higher gear. Wish I didn't have to put it in any gear, actually. Okay. I don't want to bash this shifter, but I need to get this stupid thing off. Look at that, man. That sucker slid right up. Did you see that? Okay. That's just about it now. Maybe if I pry apart on these two a little bit, it'll come out. Okay. Wow, that thing slid up a long ways. Let's see, that one's not going on any further. Wow, that was awesome. Sorry for the wind noise. I know there's a bunch blowing in here. Okay, this one won't go on, but I wonder. Nope. So you just need to pry it. All right, let's try it one more time here. It's coming. Oh shit. All right, well, you know, it came off. Sorry, but it came off, man. In the Jeep. I'll try to do what a lot of other people have already done. I don't know if it'll work though, but inside here there's supposed to be bumps that engage. Now see, this one doesn't have the holes at the bottom like some of them do. It's got a slot right there. But you know something? There's nothing in there, man. There's no bumps or anything, so it's just a tight fit. There's rubber around here, and I think that compresses this onto that. That's just what I think. Now maybe at an earlier time there was something in this slot, but anyway, whatever. I got it off. That's what I needed to show you, was it's possible. I found it, I googled a Jeep forum, and the guy took it out, and I said, you know, I've got to do one better. And I just did, even though I smashed my camera. All right, well, and I was using a 4-pound sledge, and I didn't hit it hard because I can't hit anything hard these days, but it came off. You guys are witnesses. Hopefully that stayed focused and did its job. But two pickle forks, one bigger than the other. Had these for 30-something years for doing ball joints, and it did the job. So the shifter is free, And I'm going to swap these boots out. They're just screwed in. The top one's screwed in. The small one that seals the transmission from the outside world so you don't get dust and stuff in it is shot. And that's just not a way to treat a transmission. So we'll be back. See you. Bye. Alright, so we got a brand new transmission seal up top and what they call the inner boot. They call it for a 97 to 02 TJ, but it's the same thing. At least I believe it is. Okay, so may have to drill a couple holes. We'll see what lines up. We'll see what doesn't line up. This thing's sold. I don't even know if it's original. Oh, there's a screw on that side too. Whew! Man, getting that bad boy, that shifter off of there was awesome. Alright, you guys are going to suffer through this whole thing, aren't you? Okay, I don't usually make videos this time of day, but come on. Usually if you side load the screw you can get them out, but okay, it came out. Alright, let's do this one first. Pretty trashed. This one's second. Sorry for sticking my hand in your face there. Yeah, that's just trashed. I think it's original. Let's see, can I put that on without breaking it? You know what? I'm gonna get some lubricant on here because it just, this is only 10 bucks, but it takes forever to get stuff out here. So, let's do that. I'm gonna put some lubricant on it. I'll be right back. Alright, so I've got my gloves off. This is just some, you know, black moly grease. It's nothing fancy. You can use whatever you want. You could use Vaseline, it doesn't matter. And just put a little bit on your hand or on your finger and put it here so it doesn't stretch this thing and tear it. Yeah, I think that's probably gonna do it. Let's see how well this stretches over. Oh boy. Okay, let's coat that one more time. Oh Jesus, now it's stuck in that damn groove. Don't you tear on me, you little bastard. There, okay. Alright, there we go. All the way down. Now let me wipe my finger off so I don't smear that all over the planet. Okay, come on, baby. Oh, sorry guys. Didn't mean to do that, but it's tight quarters in here. I closed the passenger door in the Jeep because the wind is just picking up really bad. Wow, this thing stretches tight around this thing too. Holy cow. You gotta kind of unroll the lip to get it to fit. At least that's what I think. Come on. There we go. Now there is kind of a tab on here, but I couldn't even begin to tell you how it would fit or how it would be oriented. Okay, so I'm really glad I did that. That is a must, putting grease on that. That's an absolute must. You'll tear it. It's a $10 part and you have to order it again. I got mine off eBay. There's probably 20 vendors that carry it. Alright, so now this guy. Let's I think the notch is always for this. Wow, that thing's, the rivet's loose. Okay, let me get my gloves back on. So, I'm going to line it up and see how it fits relative to the old one. Now this one doesn't even have holes in the perimeter here. See that? Oh, geez, Mike. There's no holes in the perimeter. So you get self-tapping screws, and you drop it in, and you get what you get. This old one looks like it might have, yeah, I just kind of had molded in places to put the screws. Kind of a metal bottom. This one has a metal bottom. Okay, so what we do, okay, put it in neutral, I guess. You'll see the hole in the middle is not centered. Sorry again. See how this hole is offset from center down a ways? Let's see. The shifter is basically, the stub is centered, but it comes out going toward the rear of the vehicle. So I think this maybe should go like that. There's really no hint on the previous one because it's just shredded. I'm pretty sure this one was original. So it's done. But same thing, we're gonna have to put grease on that. And oh no, if that, okay, well, I don't know, man. Usually on most of them, this notch is for this bracket. Not all of them, some of them have a bracket up front. Okay, well, this is my first time doing it, so I'm thinking out loud, and hopefully it's not boring the hell out of you. All right, here we go. More grease. All right, I'm gonna coat that sucker good, man, because we don't want it tearing. All right, now that took all the grease. That rubber's really dry. It still has the mold release agent on it. There's kind of a white, very light coating to this thing, and that's from the mold release when they make the part. So, okay. Now the whole deal is, can we get this in without smacking the hell out of the camera? So I'm going to try and get a little more room for myself. Move you guys back here. Make sure you can see that. Let's see, maybe if I... Alright, so what I'm doing is I climbed in on the seat. I was kneeling on the ground because I can reach the shifter better, but this one I'm not sure is gonna work. So, gloves back on. Alright, we've got it greased, and when it goes in, yeah, you know, it could look just like that. Alright, so the trick is getting it over this without tearing it. Okay, see, it's caught in that stupid slot again. There it goes. Oh, the grease was wonderful. That helped a lot. So you shove it all the way down, and then okay, so there's a hole here and a hole here, and they just barely overlap. In fact, they don't really overlap very well. Side to side. Yeah, so this thing, if I had to guess, it's probably a 1/4 inch smaller in diameter than the first one. I should have just laid them on top of each other to show you. But if you can't get one, you can't get one. What are you going to do, right? So, if I lined up... Okay, does this... Okay, so if it's all the way back, will it still fit? Yeah, I think it'll fit fine. You can see this parting line down the middle. I'm just going to center that in the middle of the Jeep. And there's a screw up here that should be centered. And we will just have to figure this out. There's a lot of sheet metal left. If you can't stick it in the old holes, maybe rotate here, do it, offset it half a, 90 degrees all the way around. There's a screw won't fit very well here. This is riveted in and it won't be able to reach it so good. So I don't know, 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom, and 1 over on the side a little bit. Now, I don't even know. Yeah, these are self-tapping that were in there. You see that? It's self-tapping. So, it's a little shorter than I like, but, it'll get the job done. So I think what I'll do, I'm going to put the shifter forward, and I'm going to do this rear one first because I can reach it easy. I gotta test some first. I want to see if this hole's stripped. No, it's good. Okay, so our first one is going to be this rear hole. I'm going to slide this up as much as I can, but I need to bite into it. Ooh boy. It may be better to pre-drill this. Ooh. Okay, so it drilled through the metal in this rubber piece. If I could line it up, I'll at least have a start. There we go. Okay. I wish it was in a little further, but I'm a big fan of not letting perfection get in the way of good enough. Alright. Let's see, make sure you guys are still in the shot. Sorry. I know some of this is unnecessary, but I couldn't find any of this on YouTube, so I'm just going to do it myself. I need 2 more screws, so I'm going to just leave that one for now. I'm going to go get a couple more, and I'll be back. Alright, these are in my cabinet, number 8s by a 1/2 inch. They're self-tappers. I suspect you could go a little bit longer. They have a nice big head on them. And are they... Oh yeah, they're a dead match for what's already in here. So, okay, so there's number 3 and number 4. And I'll lay these out of the way. Okay, so now we need to stabilize it. So how about if we go for the top one? And we will see. Oh, this doesn't have my good driver bit in it. Oh well. Yeah, you know what? After doing that one, I'm going to pre-drill these holes. So, again, I'll be right back. Alright, here we go. I got us a drill, a tiny bit. I have no idea what size it is, but it's way smaller. It's about the size of the minor diameter of the screw, so it's way smaller than the threads. And we're going to stick that sucker. Let's see, so that hole is, that previous hole, I don't know if I can get it in there or not. There's plenty of, yeah, there's a 1/4 inch of steel in there. If I drill it before that a little bit. Okay, let's see what happens here. Okay, I guess we're going to do it like this. Oh. Oh my. That is where the rubber is and the metal is not. Okay, so don't do that. Ah, shit. See, I keep poking a hole. The ring of steel is only about 1/4 inch wide, so you want to make sure you get your bit in the middle of the steel, not in the rubber. So this is torn already, my brand new boot. Yeah, starting this is really fun. Wow, not good. One thing you might think about before you put the big boot down here is maybe putting a layer of silicone under it to seal it from the outside. Help with the seal efficiency a little bit. I hope you guys can see this because I can't do 3 things at once. Wow, pain in the ass. Alright, well, I'm not going to keep burning the clock here and boring the hell out of you guys, so I'm going to do this and then show you that I did it after I got it done. Alright, what I had to do was put in a bigger drill bit, the size of the screw, because it turns out the steel around this gasket, this boot, is actually pretty hard. Do yourself a favor, pre-drill 4 holes through the steel out on the bench somewhere on a piece of plywood. Don't do it in here. The dash gets in the way and you puncture a hole in your boot and all that stuff. So just punch 4 holes in it, and then, you know, your self-tapping screws will screw right into your sheet metal. It may not line up with the old holes, but it's a Jeep, man. You just don't worry about stuff like that. So I pre-drilled this bigger bit all the way through, and now let's see if I can get this to work. Okay. Okay, now that stretched and fell in the old hole, which is not what I expected, but I'll take it. Okay, now we got to do one on each side. Now I can see this one, the original hole's out here. It's on the outside a little bit, so it gets a new hole, but this is a lot tougher than I thought. Alright, so what we do is we put in the pilot bit. I don't know what this is. It's probably a little over a 1/16. Okay, so now we're going to do this side. Yeah, the hole's right here. It's just outside of it. So you get an idea that this boot's a little smaller than stock, but you know what? It works. I'm happy. Like I said, you can put the screws wherever you want. I'm just doing it at 90 degrees because I just want to. Okay, gotta start this slow. Slow and easy is the problem here. This rubber makes it real slippery. And you'll see chips start coming out. Ah, damn it. You know, it's 100 degrees outside and I'm in a vehicle and it's just cooking me. Let me get a window down a little here. Okay, here we go. I had it started. Okay, we'll be right back. I don't know if you could see this. I moved the hole where I was drilling, got a nice chip out of it, and I moved it down about 1/4 inch, and it bit right in. So now we go from the pilot bit. Yeah, can you see why you want to do this on a bench somewhere? I thought it was going to line up with the old holes, but it wasn't even close. There we go. More chips. This is good. This is nothing but good. Okay, so I guess I don't care where they go. I just don't want them underneath the boot. Alright. Next step, one more screw, and then we got to do the opposite side. So this should go right into the sheet metal pretty lickety split. Okay, yeah, this is an impact driver, not a drill. And if you use a light finger on them, they will serve you very, very well. Okay. Alright, be right back. Alright, I got this other one drilled. I don't know if you noticed this, but it's split right here. This screw did not go through the metal, it went through the edge, so this one gets redone. So I got a split here. Again, reiterating the fact that you really should do this on the bench. I didn't know that at the time. I guess I lost a screw. Ah, here we go. Yeah, do this on the bench, pre-drill it, and then come and install it. You will not have any problems if you do that. Oh, it went through, but it didn't stick. I wonder if I'm right on the edge. See that? Yeah, I see the hole. I need a bigger, better, fatter screw. Alright, well, it's the reality of putting the only part in you can find. The other screw up I see here is, there's a gap right here. I didn't slide this down enough when I started this, so you guys keep an eye on what I'm doing here so you don't make the same mistakes. For me, I'll probably just put some RTV here, and then when you put the console and the other boot over it, nobody will know, except for all of YouTube. This is smaller, and that kind of matters, but it's all I could find, so alright, let's see, since this one's dead center, if we can pre-drill this one. Okay, that one's all messed up, so we're going to move over here. Yeah, starting slow helps a lot, because once you get a divot in the metal, then the hole will start to drill itself without slipping like you've seen me do before. There we go. Okay. Alright, that went in nicely. You can probably hear the wind blowing. Feels awful good on me though. Alright, here we go. Man, putting a boot in takes so long, who'd have figured? Okay, here we go. There we go. Alright. Yeah, bring a vacuum if you don't want to leave these chips in your rig. I'm gonna go get one after I'm done here and suck all this up. Okay, now let's see if we can get this screw in, and then I got to get a bigger, better screw for that one. I suppose I could re-drill the hole, but I just don't know how many holes I want to drill in this thing. Come on, what are you doing? There we go. Okay. Alright, what am I gonna do? Alright, let me go find a better screw. This one, the flange on this thing bends, and so you're gonna need a real nice bite to make that work, so I'll be back. Alright, I found some number 10s. The previous ones are number 8s, which is what this one came with. Now is at factory. I couldn't even begin to tell you. This thing's 32 years old. It could have been done and redone. So, let's take that one out. Now these don't have as nearly a big a head on them, but they are self-tapping. See that? They're pretty big head, but they're not huge. These other ones kind of have a washer built in. Alright, so, oh, shit. I mean, shucks. Okay, here we go. Wow. Did my magnet die on my drill? I hate having gloves, but they do a lot of good for my hands. Okay, here we go. There. Oh, shoot, it felt like it went in really good and then it slipped out. Huh. Alright, well. I don't know how much longer I could stand watching a video of a guy screwing around with screws. Alright. I'm gonna go get the right bit for this damn thing. These are Milwaukee bits. I got a whole box of them. You know, any of the main brands. This is just cheap Chinese because I picked up the wrong driver. Let's see if this helps now. Oh yeah, that dropped it right in. Okay. You know, I think I'm going to do that all the way around. Yeah, these are a little stripped out. So these number 10s are just big enough that everything's been drilled already, so they should go in good. Bam. Yeah. Okay, so use whatever you want to use. You just don't want it smacking the transmission. I used whatever came with my Jeep, and you know, who knows if that's factory. They're 1/2 inch long. I would recommend a little longer, but okay. This thing's having to make the hole bigger through the boot as well. There we go. Did you hear that? Thump, thump, thump. Okay, so I've got to put a little silicone here and a little here. So that's what I need to fix. So anyway, I don't have to fix it right this second. So what I'm going to do... Oh hell, this one came out again. You know, this is getting old, man. But this is real life. Okay. There's a little less metal to bite into because this thing's smaller, a little less of the body metal. So you got to be careful that you're getting a good bite, that you're not breaking out of the hole you made. That's what I'm afraid is going to happen here. So I'm not putting the console back in anytime soon, so I'll be able to check this in the future. So some places to put silicone are this hole over here, hole over there. That one stretched and made the old hole. This one here, and then this one here. Because you really want this sealed. If you pre-drill this, it really would be worth putting silicone, as I've already said, on the bottom of this thing, so then it just seals the daylights out of it. Okay, so that takes care of that part. Now, the fun part, what you do with your console and the boot that goes over it is you unscrew your knob. This thing's loose. So you unscrew your knob and slide it down over this, so you don't need to worry. But this needs to go, let's see, how would you do it? I guess like that. I don't know, do you pound it on? Yes, you do, you pound it on. I wouldn't hit anything on your knob because you'll end up cracking your knob, and I think this is original AMC. Since this is an 86, it's pre-Chrysler, for those keeping meticulous notes. So you don't want to pound on this. I don't know that you want to pound on the threads either, but you saw it went on quite a ways just hitting it with my hand. I'm going to go get a block of wood and tap on the top of the shaft, make sure it's on there solid. I don't want to be racing somewhere and slam into second and all of a sudden I have a shifter in my hand. I'll be right back. Alright, 2x2. Oh man, don't hit your dash. I think it's on, folks. I don't think it slid down anymore. Okay, so get all the wood off of your, and then stick your shifter knob back on. And I'll put my console on another day, because right now all I wanted to do is get these two, the seal on and the boot on. So, okay. Yeah, make sure you grease that. That was a big deal. And then I'm not going to bore you. I'm going to silicone that, those holes I showed you, and then this is done. That's a nice. It works. It's not putting any stress on the shifter. 4, 5, and our reverse is over here somewhere. Okay. So there you go. You've seen it come off and on in the vehicle. That might be a first. Okay, well, you've seen the screws you use. If it's not too much work, I'll try to put them in the description, but sometimes I just get too damn tired for those kind of details. You guys just have to watch the video. Anyway, it works, man. We got the new boot in compared to the old one. Yeah, you can probably see it's a little bigger. Sorry, the shadows and stuff are bad, but yeah, it's a little bit bigger, that's for sure. But this thing is so shredded, and the seal under it, you know, that lets dust into the transmission, the shift linkage, and that's just really stupid. You don't want that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna officially end this video. I hope it was helpful. It helped me. I'm gonna go take a nap. See you, bye.